In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the difference between a bully boss versus a micromanager. As you know, I've done some videos about workplace bullying before and I've written some posts about it. And I've even written a blog post about what to do if you've got a bully boss. But I wanted to do this video because I think it's important that people understand that there's a massive difference between someone who is bullying you as a manager or boss and someone who is maybe a micromanager who might have certain OCD tendencies but isn't somebody who is actually bullying you, because it is quite different. And this is quite a wide topic, so these are just some of the things that I want to share in terms of not only my experience but other experiences I've sort of heard from clients and people I know, but also generally behaviours which sort of could encompass workplace bullying and non-workplace bullying. But the main point of this video is to really help you understand there's a massive difference between a bully boss and a micromanager, and I'm just going to be sharing some of those things. So number one is it's really important to distinguish between someone who is a micromanager and bully boss in the way that they talk to you. If somebody is a micromanager, they may send you emails to say, hey, so did you do that work? And when can you do that work by? The language. If somebody is bullying you and they're your manager, if they send you emails which are threatening maybe, or a bit more aggressive, so how come you haven't done the work? Or, you know, they phone you and they go, oh, how come it's not done yet? It needs to be done today. You know, it's the tone of the language, whether that's verbally, via email, via telephone. You will be able to tell the difference between somebody who is trying to intimidate you and somebody who's just trying to line manage you. And I hear a lot of things from people about micromanagers being very, pristine, and why do they have to be so much in control? But that's part of what a micromanager does. They like to be in control, and they just try and manage everything and just make sure that you're getting the work done. Whereas a bully boss will be kind of just maybe passive aggressive or aggressive. So you will be able to tell the difference with the way that they speak to you is number one. Number two is checking up on you versus being aggressive. So this is kind of similar. So what I mean by this one is a micromanager might just come to your desk or office and just say, okay, so how are you getting on that project? Can you give me an update? And then you share, and then you just have a discussion. Whereas somebody who is a bully boss or someone who is quite threatening and maybe trying to scare you a little bit, will be like, okay, so did you do the work? How come you haven't done that? How come you haven't done this? Why is this not done? Why is not that done? That not done? And just basically trying to maybe not necessarily pick holes, but just be really aggressive with you and be over authoritarian. Remember, a manager is meant to line manage us and help us be more productive and help us do our jobs better. But if you're sensing that this person is trying to control you to the extent where you're not being productive and you're feeling very threatened by their behaviour, that's not good. That's really wrong, and it shouldn't happen, and you shouldn't feel like that in a workplace. So that's number two. Number three, and this kind of coincides with that, number three is putting you down versus encouraging and helping you. So I've worked with lots of different line managers. I've had a few micromanagers, and I've had, unfortunately, one or two bully bosses. And one of the main distinctions between someone who is a bully boss and somebody who is a micro/line manager who's just trying to make sure that you're working more efficiently is somebody who, so basically a bully boss would put you down in front of someone and say, oh, so someone wasn't able to do this, and because they weren't able to do this, that's happened, and as a consequence this has happened, and we haven't had. So again, it's the tone of language that the boss or the manager may be using, versus if they say, okay, I can see this month you haven't reached those targets, that's okay, would you like me to get you some support from this person, or how can I encourage and support you to make sure that not only are you reaching your targets, but that we're working a little bit more collaboratively, and would you like another one-to-one in another another 2 weeks instead of next month so that we can just check in with each other. So it's all about the way that you're being spoken to as well, because if you're being encouraged by your manager, even if they are a bit of a micromanager, then that's a positive thing. They're doing their job. They're not trying to make you feel intimidated or belittling you. They're trying to say to you, you know what, okay, you are good at your job. You just need a bit of encouragement, and I'm here to help. If they're not even being helpful to you, if they're just being very negative and just constantly putting you down and not being at all supportive, that's not good. That's not a good practice of somebody who is a manager who's meant to be supportive. And one last thing, one bonus thing I want to say about this is, if you feel as though you can't talk to your line manager about any feeling that is going on in your life, and you feel that there is maybe some sort of community void there, that's also not good. So, for example, I'll just give you a really, really quick example on this. If maybe you're going through a challenging time and you're not able to talk to them about it, and they're not very understanding, and they completely ignore that you're going through a challenging time, and they expect you to just do the work anyway without properly talking to you, it's not great. It's not necessarily being a bully boss, but it's not necessarily being a very sympathetic line manager either. But if a manager is, trying to say, okay, maybe if you need to take a day off because that's happened, we'll wait for you to come in, and then, we'll support you rather than just hounding you straight away. The main reason I wanted to do this video is because when I did the signs of workplace bullying, I wanted to make sure I highlighted as well the fact that there's a massive difference between workplace bullying and being an effective manager, or just being a manager who is, as I said at the beginning of the video, slightly OCD and likes to micromanage. And you'll be able to assess based on how you're feeling every day when you see your boss, and based on how they interact with other people, and based on how well you perform in your job, whether they are a bully boss or whether they are an effective manager. And for me, this is an important video because there are no cut and dry facts to say I'm being bullied or I'm not being bullied. It's something that happens through consistency over time. And if you feel as though you're being shouted at constantly, and if you feel that you're maybe being singled out, then that could be a sign of workplace bullying. But if you're not doing the work effectively and efficiently and in a timely manner, it could be that maybe your line manager is coming down hard on you because you deserve that. But nobody deserves to be shouted at unnecessarily, or if they are performing particularly well in their job but not getting any recognition. No one deserves that. And I just wanted to share that because it is really, really important as well that if you feel as though some behaviour is inappropriate, or something is said in a meeting where you're made to feel very embarrassed, or to feel as though you're not good enough, that you go directly to the person who says it and have a conversation with them. However uncomfortable it may seem at the time, in theory, it's better to just talk to them about it. So I hope this video just really, really helps you. I'm just gonna recap over those 3 things really, really quickly. The first thing to look out for in terms of the difference between a bully boss and a micromanager is the way that they speak to you. If they speak to you very aggressively and not in a very nice way, that's not really great. But if they speak to you in a polite manner and they're just trying to encourage and support you, then that's okay. The second thing is making sure that the second thing is sort of if they're checking up on you to see how you're progressing versus aggressive behavior. The third thing is putting you down versus encouraging and supporting you as somebody who's your manager. So I hope that these sort of 3 things kind of help. I've added a little bit of extra stuff because with this video, I just want to emphasize on the fact that, it's all about not necessarily just emotions, it's all about how you understand how you feel around your manager. Even if you don't like your manager very well, if you know that they're a good manager and that they're helping you produce better results, then that's a good thing. But if you just are constantly shouted at and, not given support, it's not good. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helps some of you who need this encouragement right now and support. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye!